Hey YouTube, it's Truth Warrior for ya. I've been wanting to touch on this subject because I know for a fact that Yah wants me to talk about this. You can take it, you can leave it, you can do whatever you want with it. I'm giving it from Yah. What you do from there is on you, not me. It's off my hands. Now, I've explained to you a little bit. There's not one book that's not corrupted by the devil. And I will prove it. So, one thing I want to read to you is out of Hosea 7, chapter 8, verse 4. And you can go back and read all of Hosea, because I believe Hosea's got a lot of wisdom in it. But Yah says, they've set up kings, but not by me. So, if you have not divinely been put into your kingly position by Yah, then you were put there by the devil. So if Yah says he didn't put these kings up, and if King James never gave one credit to Yah's name, you're going to tell me that was by the divine power of Yah? King James wrote the Bible to get his son worship and his devil worship in there. And to remove Yah's name 5,980 times. So you people that want to live and die by the book, oh, you're going to die by the book for sure. Because you did not want the truth. You wanted to live the lie, and Yah tried to tell you. You didn't go seek it on your own. Yah had to send one of his men to tell you. What you do from there is yours, not me. I really have no care for what any of these demons, I'm going to tell you. Only thing I care about is if I see somebody trying to do good on the street, or you could tell who has a serious heart, I'll go to that person and try to explain some things to them. But I ain't going to overwhelm them and kill them to where they don't want to be with Yah. I'll just give them one or two things. They can, I mean, if you can't see the light from just one or two things that I know of, and I could, the wisdom that Yah's given me is beyond anything that these wicked Satanists have. And I'm going to tell you, in all my wisdom, when Yah was bringing me along in my walk, there's one line he drew in the sand in my wisdom. That's when I got to their black magic and their books and their... I never read one of their black magic books. I've seen all the covers to Aleister Crowley's black magic books, the 777. I mean, I know their names and what they look like. But Yah said you will not read one of them. And I didn't. So with that being said, I want to read Demonology, which was written by King James. That's the cover of the... I can't remember if that was the newspaper or the book cover. I believe that was the book cover. And it was 1597. Not too many years before the, what they call the Bible came out. The Tanakh, the book, Yah's Law. Alright, I'm going to read this Demonology. Now, they're going to lie to paint the picture of King James doing it for the good of the people. Yah's not going to give you wisdom of darkness. He may show you the dark side, but he isn't going to give you the wisdom of their knowledge. Unless you want to be the Satanist. So here we go. Published 1597 by King James IV of Scotland. Later also James I of England. As a philosophical dissertation on contemporary necromancy and the historical relations between the various methods of divination used from ancient black magic This included a study on demonology and the methods demons used to trouble men while touching on topics such as werewolves and vampires. It was a political yet theological statement to educate a misinformed populace of the history, crypto history, practices and implications of sorcery, and the reasons for persecution of a witch in a Christian society under the rule of canonical law. This book is believed to be one of the primary sources used by William Shakespeare in the production of Macbeth. Shakespeare attributed many quotes and rituals found within the book directly to the Weird Sisters, yet also attributed to the Scottish themes and setting reference from the trials which King James was involved, the witch trials. King James wrote a dissertation titled Demonology that was first sold in 1597, several years prior to the first publication of King James' authorized version of the Bible. Within 3 short books, James wrote a philosophical dissertation in the form of a Socratic dialogue for the purpose of making arguments and comparisons between magic, sorcery, and witchcraft, but wrote also his classification of demons. In writing the book, King James was heavily influenced by his personal involvement in the North Berwick witch trials from 1590. Now, he was involved to make sure that they weren't literally really killed. Following the execution of the notorious sorcerer in the year of 1591, the news of the trials was narrated in the news pamphlet titled News from Scotland and was included as the final chapter of the novel. The book endorses the practice of witch hunting in a Christian society, James begins the book. I bet they set up the Yahoodums and were hunting Yahoodums, calling them witches. The fearful abounding at this time is this country. Of these detestable slaves of the devil, the witches or enchanters hath moved me, beloved reader, to dispatch in post this following treatise of mine, to resolve the doubting, both that such assaults of Satan are most certainly practiced, and that the instrument thereof merits most severely to be punished. As detailed in his preface, the main sources of his work were that of historical confessed witches, judicial case history, and the Bible itself. Although he also amassed various dissertations on magical studies to expand his education on the relationship between infernal spirits and men, James generally sought to prove that the devilish arts have always been, yet still are, but also explains the justification of the witch trial and the punishments which a practitioner of the dark arts merits. He also reasons scholastically what kinds of things are possible in the performance of these arts and the natural causes of the devil's power with the use of philosophical reasoning. Philosophical. King James sought to prove the existence of witchcraft to other Christians through biblical teachings. As such, his work is separated into 3 books based on the different arguments the philosophers discuss, with citations of biblical scriptures throughout the text. This work acts as a political and theological dissertation in the form of philosophical dialogue between the characters Philomathus and Epistemon, I probably destroyed that name, who debated on the various topics of magic, sorcery, witchcraft, and demonology. The purpose seems to be educational piece on the study of witchcraft and to inform the public about the histories of etymologies of all subcategories involved in magical practice. Well, that's the twist and lie about it all. Misinform. Satanists do exact opposite. I register the opposite. The work also serves to make formal accusations against the practice of witchcraft and comparatively elaborates James' views against papistry. In the preface, King James states that he chose to write the content in the form of a dialogue to better entertain the reader. By doing so, he follows the methods of many philosophical writers prior to his time. Yeah, and I know who all they were. Devil worshippers. As the main plot, Philopathus hears news in the kingdom regarding the rumors of witchcraft, which seems all miraculous and amazing, but could find no one knowledgeable on the matter to have a serious political discussion on the issue. He finds a philosopher named Epistemon, who is very knowledgeable on topics of theology. Book 1. The argument of the first book is on the following topics regarding the description of magic. The divisions of the various magic arts with comparison between necromancy and witchcraft. The use of charms, circles, and conjurations. The division of astrology. The devil's contract with man. Comparisons between the miracles of Yah and the devil, which we know they're saying God, which is their god of fortune. That's where the word comes from, G-A-W-D, which is a deity of fortune. I don't like to give Yah that title, but I sometimes have to use it with the pagans so they understand the purpose of the purpose of these practices. Book 2. The main argument of the second book is based on the following topics regarding the description of sorcery and witchcraft. The difference between biblical proof and imagination or myth. The description of sorcery and its comparison with witchcraft.